Hi guys, welcome to our first session of 3D Printing Club. My name is Camille and I'm here at Shotwell Library. For today's session, I just want to talk to y'all a little bit about what exactly a 3D printer does and what we can do with it. The one that we have here is called Polyprinter. So in case you don't already know how exactly a 3D printer works, it takes a type of filament. Here we're using one called PLA, which stands for polylactic acid. And this type of filament is actually plant-based. And it goes through what we call an extruder that melts the filament so that it can be added to different layers of your design. The printer is just going to go from bottom to top, adding layer by layer until your object is complete. So I'm going to put the filament into the 3D printer. I have to hang it in the back and run the filament through a couple of parts of the machine in order to get to the extruder. And once I've got the filament in, we will be ready to do our print. So now obviously we need something to print, and lucky for us, we actually don't have to go to all of the trouble of designing our own 3D print file from scratch if we don't want to. You absolutely can, and we'll actually get to that in another session of 3D Printing Club. But today we're just going to use a website that's going to give us a fully ready STL file that we can use to make our 3D print. There are a lot of different websites that you can find these files from. Occasionally people will put a price on them, but a lot of the time you can find what you need for free. And so the websites that we usually use for that are called Thingiverse or My Mini Factory. If you do look at one of those websites and you find an object that you would like for us to print, make sure you download it as an STL file and you can send it to us in an email and we'll let you know how much it's going to cost. We just charge 15 cents per gram of plastic for the object that you want, so obviously the bigger you make it, the more expensive it's going to be. And the file that we're going to use today is one that I got off of My Mini Factory, and it's just going to be a cute little box that looks like a book when it's closed. So if you come a little bit closer, I can show you how it works to get that file ready. So I've already loaded the file into a program that's basically just going to prepare it to go into the 3D printer. And as you can see, it's two pieces, so I actually had to download two different files in order to get this. This part right here is going to be the pages of the book. And it's going to be like a little drawer that goes into the cover of the book so that it forms kind of a little box. So it's very cute. This is the program where I can change the size of the object if I want to. I can make it a little bigger, I can make it smaller, as long as I feel like the sizes are going to work for my purposes. And once I'm done finishing it in there, I'm just going to load it basically into the 3D printer so that the printing can begin. And now we're ready to start our print, so let's watch our printer in action. so now our print is ready. We have our cute little box that looks like a book. Now, I did actually print this using all the same color of PLA. The pages as well as the cover of my little book box were all this green color, but I actually used some white acrylic paint just to make the pages, the edges of the pages white to make it look a little bit more like a book. And I've stored some paper clips inside of it since it's just a pretty small box. But when you do get something printed, it will be all in the same color of PLA, but it takes paint really well, so you can paint it whatever colors you would like to once you get it home. Thank you so much for joining me today for 3D Printing Club. I hope you'll come back next time because we will be talking about starting to make our own custom 3D designs. And for that, we're going to be using free software online called Tinkercad. So make sure you check back this same time next week for that next video, and I will see you next time.